this is for this episode of Circle of Trades. I'm Todd Suter. This is Travis Waldstein, Air Heating and Air Conditioning at Waldstein Plumbing. So I did my best to get away from you, but you found me.
Yeah, I did. It looks like you're trying to burn down the place, but listen, I'll call Jeff Franco, cover for you, say, it is an accident.
I don't know if you can see it in the background. It's a black back there, and they've done a prescribed burn out here at Botna Bend Park in Hancock, Iowa. That's where we're at right now. It's one of the county park system, and this is probably my favorite place to camp inside of an hour's drive of Council Bluffs.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great place.
It's beautiful out here. The spaces are big, and they've got everything that you need all the way down to bison and enclosure. They've got elk over there.
Yep.
They've got 3 different campgrounds and showers, playground for the kids. It's all here.
Yep.
And you can even put in on the West Nishnabotna River and go kayaking,
Yep.
or go for a float. I talked to somebody earlier today about that.
They want to float?
Yeah.
We used to go out, now, my kids were here, we used to go up to Avoca, and we could take kayaks, we'd go up there, and then come down here. Yeah, that's actually a blast. Get into sandbars and stuff and do it. Yeah, it's good. This is a great place actually to come hang out. And yeah, like I said, it's a half. Well, okay, when 59 with the bridge being out in 92, by the way. So yeah, I found that out. So and they have this detour. So I took a gravel road. So now that my clean black truck is now a dirty black truck. But
you tried to take 59. Where were you that you were taking Highway 59? I don't go that way when I go.
I usually did because my house is south of 240th Pioneer Trail.
Okay, so you wouldn't. It would be out of your way to go up to the interstate.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense. So no, so I usually come out either 6 or 59. Usually or 92, excuse me, and catch 59. But yeah, they got that. Well, that bridge's only been hit like 4 times. So I mean, it kind of almost makes the one a big like park. The Ripper. I mean, this one could be a nomination for it too. So. And I have a feeling some ag company or that ways wind farms is probably paying for that bridge out there.
Maybe that was the issue, as it got hit.
Oh, it got hit. Yeah, this has been over. I guarantee they'll probably raise it a couple foot, but I don't know.
That'd be smarter.
Well,
a buddy of mine has a trucking company up in Spirit Lake.
Yeah.
And I was over at his place when he got the call that somebody hit a bridge in Chicago. And I asked him, because I didn't know what the deal was with this. And I said, don't they put signs on these bridges to let you know the height? And he said, yeah, they do, but they don't change the sign if they repave the road.
No.
So it makes it shorter. So it may or may not be.
So that 13.6 height might all of a sudden be 13.4.
Right. I mean, even go 4 to 6 inches. And I don't know whether that was the case with that particular one or not. But yeah, he said it's not the first time that he's had to deal with that.
Oh, the logistics nightmare and just everything else with it. I mean, I just can't even imagine it.
So you want to tell people what we're drinking here out of these tumblers?
Well, my friend Todd here is a whiskey connoisseur, and I like my beer, but beer kind of like makes him do weird stuff. So I stopped and bought Field of Dreams. It's a bourbon whiskey that we tried. Like I said, actually, this was at Hy-Vee at Bald Bluff, so didn't know it was there. Just kind of one of them deals. It's kind of like, well, it can't be bad. Is there such thing as bad whiskey?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do we want to say that out in public?
Yeah, Jameson. They know what to make.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well.
Exactly what that is.
Yeah, my kids might argue with you on that, but yeah, I would not disagree.
If you are selling any kind of refined spirits in a plastic bottle, not so much.
So Hawkeye vodka probably doesn't qualify.
Paramount gin.
Anything that tastes like lighter fluid just sounds horrible.
Pretty much, or as Diane says, it tastes like gas, and I hear that a lot on different stuff.
Yeah.
Until it mellows out a little bit from the ice. I'm an ice guy. I'm trying to remember what actor it was that talked about this, and he said he likes every stage of it, from when it's strong and cold, from when you first put the ice in it, to where it's a little bit mellow in the middle, and then when you get to the end where it's very watery.
Yeah.
And I'm in that same agreement. I like every stage of this.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good whiskey.
Yeah, this is definitely a good whiskey. Like I said, just as whatever. So you know, it's one of the deals. Just said, yeah, I knew Todd. Figured Todd needs some solace, you know, and then it's not the boss of beef jerky too. So
yeah, the beef jerky is also good.
yeah, like I said, I've done this, you know, like I said, there's lots of good places. Like I said, there's Rustin Cuts, there's Bertelson's, but here in Hancock, Hancock Frozen Foods, Russ Locker is always done me good. I wish Menden still had their deal open, but we got hit by the tornado 2 years ago. But you know, anytime you get a chance to support one of the local communities, they got someplace like that. It's, you know, it's great that they're able to local and they can buy local product or bring your own stuff in if you raise cattle or hogs or whatever. So you know, that's important to me. So
have you talked to the young man doing Bertelsen beef? Have you talked to him?
I have not. My son knows who he is. So
Bertelsen, and this young man is he's one of my favorite people, just based on what it is that he did, because he knew that he wanted to open a meat locker there on the farm and be able to process the beef that they themselves were raising. So he went and worked at one for a couple of years to learn how.
Yeah.
And then brought it back, and they're killing it. And I think it's a great story.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's a lot of good lockers. I mean, a lot of them have gone away. You know, the biggest thing is the problem is with if you try to open a new locker, and it's actually good, you know, but you got to bring it up to FDA standard. I mean, there's a lot. There's refrigeration, stainless steel, you know, all the health safety, which you want all that, but you know, I don't think people understand the costs associated with just getting a facility open like that, you know, whether it be them or, you know, I know Russ Cuts the last 3 or 4 years has opened their building. I mean, by the time you figure the refrigeration, all the stainless steel, and just everything that goes into the building for it to be able to sell you a steak, you know, you're probably close to between $750,000 to $1 million before you sell one section of beef, depending on So
if you're going into one of these meat lockers and you look at well, they'll have like a nice steak for $30 a pound, and you're thinking, well, no, it's really not.
Yeah.
Because the profit margin is not that high for these guys.
No, yeah. Well, if you don't believe me, we went about a month ago at a sales rep in town. They took us to Omaha. I believe it was Omaha Prime. They're like on 11th and just south of Dodge Street in Omaha. I'd never been there because I stay in Iowa. I don't go down to Old Market very often. But I went down there, and oh yeah, my wife about fell over when she saw some of the prices for beef. She's like, $75 a pound for I did not order the $75 a pound. I did the bone and ribeye. That was about 25 or 30. I could buy that about anywhere for that price. So.
Yeah, and bone and ribeye is a really good steak.
Oh yeah.
And it's I've gotten better at that. I'm pretty good at cooking steak. I'm really good at cooking chicken. I'm horrible at seafood. I just have never figured it out.
You know what though? Here's what I do at home. We've got a flat top for like if we have people or if you want to do like the hoo hot. My wife loves hoo hot, by the way. So or I had a different name for it a long time ago, but I won't use it here. So kind of makes a couple letters. Yeah, did a couple letters backwards. They said no, that's not right. But she likes to, so we'll get beef, we'll get pork, we'll get we'll get not shrimp, and then we'll also get the crab. We'll get and so we can make like our own hoo hot and different sauces at home on our flat top. But then I've got a it's not a Blackstone, but it's a grill / a smoker combo. So half of it's grill. Right. Half of it's smoker.
Okay.
And what I've learned is you can turn it up to 450, 500 degrees. It's not a Traeger. It's not a Traeger, but you set up. I use that to grill with the pellets a lot, and then for smoking, you know, it's got a smoke setting on it. So the smoke setting is like what 140 degrees. I mean, like I said, don't hold me to that number. It might be 175, but it has a smoke setting on it. So we've done smoked salmon on that, and it's really good. And you do it for a couple hours because you want to get the temperature, and actually your fish, is a lot, in my opinion, it's a lot better as far as absorbing the temperature. So when we smoked it to 160 degrees, I mean, the internal, because you want to make sure it's warm, it was 160 degrees when we took the temperature on it. So it had a really nice smoking flavor. But I use my pellet smoker more than I use anything else at
I've
home.
heard of people when they have them that just turns into their grill.
It does. I have the side for propane. I don't use it. I got like it so much. I bought a little one for going over to Iowa City. It's in a camper. My son up in Seattle just bought one. It's literally, it's the size of a small suitcase, probably like your cooler over there. And you take it along, and it's got a little pellet deal. And it'll close shut. So if you want to throw it in your car, you can, and not have to worry about pellets all over. But that is one of the neatest things, you know. I've used that where we've cut pork butt, or we've made roasts or cooked hamburgers or whatever. I mean, it's a fantastic utensil. I use it all the time. So plus, we got 2 freezers at home. I splurged. I admit I'm a baby. I'll call it for what it is. But I love chest freezers, but I hate chest freezers. You know why? Because there's always stuff at the bottom you don't see.
Right.
So I went and spent the money. Of course, like I said, I went and spent the money, and we got the stand up to 6 foot tall freezers. You know what's nice about them? You don't miss stuff. You know how many mixed vegetables I had in my freezer? We got a whole row of just mixed vegetables. It's like, okay, I don't think, I said, we can make a lot of stir fry here now. So, but you find all that stuff, my wife's like, I didn't realize we had that pie or we had this or that. It's like, yeah, and now, like I said, since we've done that, I've ate out a couple times, but it's pretty much every night. Well, we're gonna go pull out the freezer or whatever. My goal is to, I'm not gonna get through my wife's canned goods. There just isn't enough. And she does a lot of that stuff with the freezer too. But oh yeah, absolutely 100%. So and all the stuff, like I said, we generally buy from lockers. For the most part. Sometimes you gotta go buy hamburger wherever it is. So. Thing that I always like is I like the brat burgers. The brat patties are like a pork. Oh yeah, a lot of times your pork producers will have them. Those are absolutely fantastic. So it's absolutely good.
So if you go to the state fair, then you're at the pork producer stand.
Oh yeah, I'll go there. I'll go to either one of them. Yeah. I gotta go get my turkey leg,
Right.
and then you find different stuff on a stick. So and if I'm over in Iowa City, I usually do the pork on a stick, So we do that. So yeah, I don't think there's anything bad that I've had off of a stick, unless you're gonna put mushrooms on it. Then I'll probably throw the mushrooms away.
I did try a BLT on a stick at the state fair a couple of years ago.
Ew.
No,
that could not have worked very well.
It wasn't very good. So it's like kebabs. The idea of them is good.
Yeah.
But actual using them and cooking on them, and then what you get afterwards. No.
What was it last year? One of the restaurants, and I hear them talk about all the time for the guys in Des Moines. I listen, like I said, if I'm not listening to your show in the morning, I listen to a lot of Des Moines sports talk radio, and they got the guys over at State Fair, and I think they had, what was it, a lobster on a stick last year.
Got this lobster. It's like pricey too.
Oh yeah. But they sold out of them.
Yeah, they did. And I think, if I remember right, they had one package.
JD Soft Fork Ranches who had that. Yes.
You could buy a bottle of Dom Perignon with it too. It was like $500.
Yes.
And they were selling some of them.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. So, but God, what a nice day for April. I mean, a little bit warm temperature-wise if you're out in the sun. Yeah. No humidity. This is a little bit of wind, so you ain't gotta worry about bugs. So.
Well, that's true. I could use the wind at about half the speed, and we'd still have the bugs gone.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was very calm out here, and the gnats were out.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen any mosquitoes since I've been out here.
The state bird, Minnesota.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's they have them up there where they put saddles on. But it really hasn't been bad for bugs here on this trip at all. So I had planned on spending 4 nights. I've already been 2 nights out here, so tonight will be the 3rd night. But we've got storms coming through tomorrow. So I haven't decided yet whether I am just going to ride that out or pack up early and go.
You're not gonna try to ride it through in the yurt? I mean, come on, this thing's like a yurt you got going on over here.
Yeah,
I mean, you could probably put an air conditioner in that thing if you wanted to.
you actually can.
I'm,
Technically, what I have is a bell tent, so it's got the center pole, where a yurt is going to be supported
oh yeah.
from the sides, and typically a yurt is on a permanent foundation.
Yes, it is.
Where a bell tent is very portable, and it's 16 feet in diameter, so it's got a lot of room in there. I've got a place, and I know it's not on camera, but you can see there where, because White Duck is who makes this, and that is a stove jack. So
Okay.
I haven't cut the hole out yet because I've never done it, but I do have the wood burning stove.
So you got the wood burning stuff.
Yeah, I bought a stainless steel.
Okay.
Winterwell.
Yeah, there you go.
And I was just talking to somebody about this earlier today too. Winterwell makes an oven for those things.
I believe it.
So it is actually, you put the stovepipe underneath of it and on top, and that way the smoke goes around the outside and the heat goes around the outside. But the inside of that oven is usable if you have something that you want to bake.
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty cool, actually. So that's a neat setup. I come out here, I'm like, well, there was a tent on the other, and I said, God, please don't tell me that thing is there.
There's a small four-inch dome.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there's one under the bridge on 35th and Nebraska Avenue. Yeah, you know, I thought, man, that can't be it. And then I'm like, okay, you've got your six-cylinder, whatever that thing is, wonder that you got. So, but no, it's a great day to be out, and a lot of stuff going on right now, work-wise. A lot of water hydrants, doing a lot of stuff with that. People, like outside, for waters.
People wanting hydrants, like the kind in the yard, like you'd have here at the campground.
Yeah, yeah. So your Iowa hydrants, those are popular. So, when we run new water lines, run water lines. Sometimes we have to dig. Sometimes we can. Sometimes we don't have to dig. We can bore them through. So if you got a certain point, which is pretty nice. So you get hydrants wherever you want. So if you got a building, or let's say you have a horse stall, or cattle area where you run cattle, and you want to have water close to that, or a tank, you can do that kind of stuff. That works out really well. So we've had a lot of stuff with that. Septic stuff, we've been dealing with that on the plumbing side. The weather is nice now. Doing it in February kind of sucks. So we got that. Doing a lot of maintenance, a lot of estimates on repairs, we got lots of stuff. You can tell that, people know that springtime's coming, and so, we're, scheduling lots of maintenance, like I said, service, no cools. People are wanting to get ducts cleaned, so I mean.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything. Yeah. So trying to get that done. So no, I mean it's a good problem to have. Nice time of year, and it's nice. And the spring, winter kind of was pretty warm. So except for the couple times decided to snow, it seems like maybe spring's been elongated a little bit. So, but it's all good. Starting to see. Leaves. I haven't mowed my yard yet, but everybody else in the countryside's broken out their mower this week, so I might have to break it out here in the next week or so.
You don't have neighbors really close, or an HOA to worry about.
No.
But, they were mowing here earlier.
I believe it.
It's actually been going on since, this is a Wednesday. I got here on Monday, and I've seen a mower every day. When you've got 119 acres, it takes a bit.
Yeah. That's where you want the 72-inch deck, or
they've got them. They run around here in zero-turn mowers, and they also have the walking paths that they have to do.
Oh yeah.
And there's a ton to get done, but these guys are dedicated, and I had one of them sitting over here earlier and was doing an interview with him, and he loves his job.
Oh
You
yeah.
can just tell that he gets to spend all day in the parks, whether it's here or at Old Town, or a couple of wildlife management areas they take care of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that Old Town one there outside of Macedonia there, I used to do a lot of fishing down there. That's actually a really lot better setup, because you drive by and you can't hardly see it, but if you pull into there, it's like, Oh, this is like,
It's a
okay.
small park. I think
Yeah.
they've only got about a dozen sites.
Yeah.
They do have a few electrical sites now. And there is running water there, but there's no flush toilets or showers.
No, no.
And that's right alongside the river, too.
Yep, yep. Absolutely. So, but yep. So, time of year, you gotta enjoy it because in about 2 weeks the humidity will roll in and everybody will have swamp ass. Be like, where'd spring go? Well, welcome to the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's wind, however, I will say, is about my least favorite weather experience. I can handle just about anything, but the wind drives me nuts. And it is blowing pretty good today, but fortunately we're at, what are we at, about 78 degrees or something?
yeah, 78 or 80. So,
so
it's supposed to cool off tomorrow. I know that.
it is, yeah. That's part of the reason that we're getting those storms is because the front's coming through.
Yeah.
And we're gonna drop quite a bit. Which another reason maybe I leave early, maybe I don't. I don't know.
Well,
I got a heater in the tent.
Well, I think it was about this time 2 years ago that the tornadoes came rolling
It was
through.
exactly this time 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because this was the same weekend that I went camping at Arrowhead. 2 years ago.
So you're the jinx.
The storms that I'd been out there for a couple of days, same as I was here, and I was very, very few people were at Arrowhead that week.
Yeah.
And I get alerts on my phone, and then somebody from the park comes over and says, "Hey, want to let you know the storm's coming. You can use the shower house as a shelter." And I called our buddy Rick Graybill. Yeah, and I just asked him. I said, "Have you been seeing this weather? Anything coming?" And he says, "Yeah, it looks like it's going to get pretty bad." And I said, "What do you think? Should I bug out and get out of here?" And he said, "I tend to make decisions based on what's going to tell the best story afterwards." And I thought about it, and I said, "Yeah, that might be Rick, but I don't want to tell that story." So I got out.
Yeah. So I remember that because I just bought my truck and I was going to go back to town. We brought some stuff home out to my place. And the guy was getting off the green. I said, you know what? I think we just better go turn around and park my truck in the shed.
Mm-hmm.
And no more, we did that. And of course, then you can see the green cloud. I've seen tornadoes by my place before, funnel clouds and stuff. And then I'm looking and seeing the clouds swirling, and all of a sudden, about a quarter mile to the south, I'm like, okay, where's this damn thing going to come down? Because you know it's coming. And of course, me, I'm going to stand outside. I'm one of them guys going to stand outside and watch it.
You grew up in Iowa.
Yeah, it's like, so anyway, so I saw a touchdown just south the Pioneer Trail on 240th Street in the Brant property that cut back around. There's a grove that goes to the east of us, and then, started hitting, Dalton Peterson's house, and then I hit Kyle Rainey's parents' folks, and then that kind of went up north and hit Minden, and then I actually went past my old place in Shelby and just missed that farmstead. So that tornado traveled a long way.
One, I think, of about 70 tornadoes in the area. We got hammered out of that system.
Yeah.
Now that's not going to happen tomorrow.
And,
We're knocking on wood. Here we go, knocking on wood.
Yeah, we hope not. So yeah, that would not be a good day. So
no, and actually, what I did that time was the center of the bell tent has a 9-foot center pole. I dropped the pole. And
you didn't want to leave the lightning rod up? Come on now.
I didn't really want to, no. And when I got back, it was completely covered in water, and I had a 2-gallon bucket with me, and there was, because the sides of this are designed to keep water from going in, there was no way to just sweep the water out.
No.
So I was soaking it up and wringing it into that bucket, and I took 4 gallons of water out of the inside of the tent.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. But that's okay. The alternative could have been worse.
Yeah.
So.
And the tornadoes had gone very, very close to there.
Oh yeah. So. Oh yeah. Absolutely, they did. So, but one other thing I just remembered to think about here. So. I've read a little bit lately. Besides people trying to hit the sheriff's department building, so.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Somebody driving a Jeep into.
Yeah, well, you know, when they're driving a midlife crisis, you know, then things tend to happen. So it's okay. So, oh, did I say that out loud? I guess
Well,
I did.
no, there's actually Garrett over
Oh,
at that.
GT Motors.
Yeah, he actually made a comment once when I was doing an interview with him. He said, "Yep, we even got a couple of Jeeps out here if there's a high school girl watching."
I'm not even touching that one. So, yeah, but the one thing that's been an issue with lately, I've seen some stuff to where people have had air conditioners stolen. You know, with all the stuff going on over in the Middle East, and you know, oil and copper and aluminum, that stuff is all it's as high as I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what I would say is if you have equipment outside, if you got security cameras, you're probably okay. But you know, we do put on AC, you know, AC brackets or AC covers, you know, that will protect for things from being stolen. It's that time of year. We've seen that. I know on West Washington Street here in town. I was one on 11th Avenue here in Council Bluffs. So I mean, you know, job sites. You know, the time of year people are going to run. Hey, it's after hours job site. Let's go check it out. So that is something we're seeing right now. A little bit of. I don't wish it on anybody. I think it's terrible that people would do that because, you know, for a few dollars at, you know, one of your local scrap yards, you know, and of course, you know, you know, really, you know, it's, you know, it isn't like to come in, hand them bottles and serial numbers of air conditioner saying, here you go. That's not how it works. So just, you know, be a little bit proactive, keep an eye on your stuff, because there are people out there that do think they want it worse than what you do. So
maybe put one of those lights with a motion sensor.
Yeah.
If somebody comes close, it's just turn a light.
I would
typically scare them off. I would.
Generally, you know, it's one of them deals. I mean, unfortunately, it's everywhere right now. Unfortunately, yeah. So just be cognizant of your surroundings and, you know, stuff going on. So you know, there's people that are running around that got nothing better to do. So
Yeah, and well, I had a piece of junk truck stolen a few years ago, and I'm like, why would you steal the world's worst vehicle in town? I mean, there's probably 30,000 vehicles in town, and I'm driving the worst one. You stole my truck. But what they told me was it's because that model of truck was very easy to steal. And you just could jam a screwdriver into the ignition and turn it, and it would start.
yeah.
So, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And somebody just wanted to ride because they found it abandoned on the other side of the river. Which I'm surprised they even made it that far because that truck didn't run real well.
Oh, so, yeah, no. Hey, listen, I've seen your choice of vehicles, so yeah.
I don't have a problem with that, and yeah, I get that I drive a Challenger, but I drive the V6,
Yeah.
and I have actually gotten 34 miles to the gallon on the highway out with this thing.
Well, at least you're not driving a Prius, so you know it's all good.
Yeah, I still have my soul.
Yeah, that is one thing you do have. So
It's a model though. You know, I drive. It's a 2017, and people seem to think it's an old one. Kid asked me last night, so what year's your car? 17, and he looked at me kind of 17. You know, I guess he thought it was an old car, because in the front looks like, you know, with the circular headlights and the grille, it looks like an older car.
yeah,
But I get a lot of comments about it, and I'm like,
yeah.
it's not a high-end Challenger.
No, yeah. Well, it says V6, so I mean.
It doesn't say V6, which is part of the problem. Because if I'm out driving and it's, you know, if I'm out on the interstate or somewhere and some other kid comes up in a sports car, they're all jacking with me.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, when he goes to Hot Tour, he's got the Bozo the Clown Horn. It's all right. So.
Yeah, but anyway.
Maybe you talk to Rick Grable. Maybe you could put a real horn, put some metal on the front of that thing, make it
That'd
bulletproof.
be cool. He drives a Charger, but his is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a nice one. So.
There you go.
I like it because I fit in it. It fits my body style very well.
It depends on the percentage of rollout that I have to do in a vehicle. When I literally have to get on the ground and roll out of a vehicle, that's a bad day. If I could actually,
You've been in and out of my car, though. It's not bad.
it's not terrible. No,
It's not your truck.
it's not like the 4-door sedan I hopped into out in Vegas, and I hopped in, the seat so low, I went to grab the headrest, come in, the headrest snapped off. And we're driving back, we're back to the hotel. Every time the guy hit a bump, the headrest go dun, 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 dun. And so then we got the casino to stay at the MGM, and this car sat so low to the ground, I literally had to roll out of the damn thing to get out of it.
Well, this is my kind of recording.
Yes.
Here. And I don't know how much of the background noise the mics are picking up. We got some birds chirping over there. Obviously, the wind. We're sitting under an awning to make sure that, because the sun would just kind of wash us out otherwise.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And there's, with the wind, you're getting some rattle with that. You get a little ice noise from, from the tumbler. But this is how I relax. Yeah, just get outside and unwind for a while.
Yeah, and birds down the park. So there you go. So.
And I've seen there's some Canadian geese out here, and it seems like they're buzzing the river because they're just following the path of the river when they go through, and it's like watching a fighter squadron out there, and just going back and forth. So
yeah.
I don't know if it's the same pair or if there's different ones coming through.
Yeah, well, it's all good. So it's all good.
Well, that is a wrap. We've accomplished all that we could. Moral of all this story is button up your air conditioner, take precautions to make sure that somebody who thinks they want it worse than you is not going to do that, and Field of Dreams bourbon is actually kind of good.
Very good.
I like it.
I like it too.
I would buy that again. All right, sir. Got any parting shots? We haven't heard it yet.
No, like I said, well, Nebraska won their practice game and they lost their practice game. So, like I said, I hear they're going to dismantle Memorial Stadium and put a statue of Kirk in front of it. That's what I'm hearing. So, Troy Dan, he's an Iowa guy, but maybe he's just trying to look out, name it after the greats that have coached the stadium.
You think maybe eventually they're going to figure out that Troy Danner was a plant?
Oh, 100%.
And I will put him over there.
Hey, listen, I wait for Joe. He was at the business group today. I didn't see him. Wanted to ask him about, the turf he's got for the dog kennel, the S&B dog kennel. So I want to know what the Iowa and Nebraska record is on that on that turf. So
yeah, it's you can tell it's Nebraska turf, but he didn't put it back together in the same way that it came apart. So the graphics are all just like hieroglyphics.
Do you blame him? I wouldn't put it together either. So I would have painted it. But whatever. Like I said, the dogs are doing what I said. If I won the lottery, that's what I would do. Go to Memorial Stadium, the dogs are doing their business. So, it's all perspective. So.
All right. Well, hey, appreciate you coming out. Appreciate you watching this episode of Circle of Trades. Hope you enjoyed it. And also, come visit the park system in Potawatomi County, Iowa. We've got some great parks here, and this is just one of them. It's a static shot we've given you. Haven't seen much on it, but it's beautiful. $25
annual fee, I think, if you're a Potawatomi County resident.
Yep.
So
$25, and even out of state's not that much more.
Yeah.
And you
30.
Access to the parks all year long.
Yep.
And when you're camping, that's not camping fees. When you're camping, though, you don't have to pay the park entrance fee.
Really?
Nope.
Oh, really?
No. So you're just paying the camping fees, which, by the way, is with a tent, $10 a night.
There you go.
It's $10 a night, and I've got this huge spout here all to myself. So thankful to the hospitality of the park. Thankful to you, Travis, for coming out. Thankful to you for watching this episode of Circle of Trades. We will see you back very soon with another one.